Today we're going to be looking at the Mcfarlane Toys Michael Keaton Batman figure from the upcoming movie, The Flash.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Now, I don't know about you, but my all-time favourite Batman has got to be Michael Keaton. Without a doubt, he just wins hands down every time. And even though over the years we've had some amazing actors play Batman, such as Christian Bale and Robert Pattinson and Ben Affleck, I will always have a soft spot for Michael Keaton. I think he is hands down the best Batman. So you can imagine how excited I am, and I'm guessing a lot of other people are, to see Michael Keaton play Batman once again in the upcoming Flash movie. And I for one cannot wait. So of course when Mcfarlane announced that they were releasing a Michael Keaton version of Batman for the upcoming movie, I just had to have it. So let's crack this open. You know, I remember a time when you couldn't really get hold of a Michael Keaton Batman. You had the Hot Toys version, which was way out of my price range at the time. I have actually pre-ordered one now, ready for next year's release. But at the time, there wasn't really that many Michael Keaton Batman figures on the market. And then NECA released one. But when NECA actually brought that action figure out, I was absolutely over the moon because I'd always wanted a movie-accurate Batman figure, a Michael Keaton Batman figure. And then it kind of went quiet for a little bit. I think NECA brought out the 14-inch Batman figure, which I didn't get and I wish I had. But the market kind of went quiet for a while. And now with the release of this film, 1989 Batman seems to be everywhere. Mcfarlane have released this, they've released a Batmobile, they're releasing a Batwing. It's amazing. I'm just hoping, and you may be able to tell me this in the comments, I'm hoping that they release some 1989 Batman, the actual 1989 Batman from the 89 film, instead of just like versions from The Flash. I would love to see a figure from the actual 1989 movie. Hopefully they'll do that. So accessory wise, we've got two hands which are balled into a fist, and we have a batarang and we have a grapple gun, and for some reason these are painted silver. They may be silver in the new movie. In the 89 movie they were black. They do look quite similar to that 89 movie. They look more or less the same. So maybe this is a paint mistake, or maybe they are actually supposed to be silver. I don't know at this point because obviously I haven't seen the film yet. And there he is, and I must say, I've only had him out of the packaging a couple of seconds, and I'm already really impressed. It is a excellent action figure. And I must admit, when I first saw reviews of this guy, and when I first saw promo shots from Mcfarlane Toys, I didn't like it. I mean, I liked it, but I didn't think it looked great. I thought it looked very bland and very plain, and I just didn't think it was a very good figure. But what I often find with Mcfarlane Toys is that when you're actually holding it in your hand and you've got it in front of your own eyes, they look 10 times better than they actually do when you're looking at the promo shots. That's just how it is for me anyway. It's like that with a lot of action figures for me. When you've actually got it in your hand, it just looks so much better. And this one, I can say, is one of those figures. And here he is closer up, and I will say straight away, most people are not going to be happy with the side eyes. It's an ongoing thing with Mcfarlane that they keep adding to these figures, keep giving them the side-eyed glance. I don't mind it, if I'm being totally honest. I don't mind it one little bit. I think it's nice to have a bit of difference now and again, but a lot of people like the figures looking directly forward. It doesn't really bother me, but I know it will bother some of you. The figure is really nice. It is really, really nice. I'm looking at it from what I've seen from the trailer, the Flash trailer, it is pretty screen accurate. Obviously, I've not seen much of his suit in that trailer, but from what I'm looking at here, it does look pretty much screen accurate. The boots have this strange yellow tint to them. I'm not sure why that is, whether that's from a scene in the film or whether it's just part of the suit. I'm not sure why they've got this yellow shine to them, but it doesn't really bother me. I have a friend who has actually bought this figure. He has a channel on YouTube called Jimbo's Customs. Give him a shout out there. And he hates this. He absolutely hates this, and he's going to paint them black. I'm going to keep it as it is for now and watch the film and then decide whether I'm going to paint over it or not. Also, my friend hates the belt. He hates how it is all black. And I've got to admit, when I first saw the trailer, and he didn't have the yellow belt. I didn't like that. I wanted him to have the yellow belt like in the film. I think it would be nice if the yellow belt was included because it would break up the costume, but they've opted to go for this black belt. Now, when I actually watch the film, I'm going to try and see if they've put any detail into this belt, and if they have, I will go over it myself with a very fine paintbrush and put some detail into it, just like I did with the Patterson Batman. His belt was very black and very plain, and I went over it with a little bit of silver, and it just brought the figure out so much. It really did make it pop. Another thing I love about this figure is the cloth cape. I think it is absolutely fantastic, and it's something that we do not see enough on the Mcfarlane action figures. They've normally got the rubber moulded capes, which I think are fine most of the time, but I have actually included my own cloth capes onto a few of the figures because I just think it looks so much better, and I wish they would do this more often. I believe they've only done this with this figure so we can fit in the Batmobile that they've also brought out, but going forward, I would thank them very much if they would actually include the figures with these cloth capes, because they are just so much better. Especially if they included some kind of wire so you could actually pose the cape. That would be absolutely fantastic. The inclusion of a cloth cape is a big plus for me. When I first saw this figure in the promo shots, I wish that the cape came a little bit further down towards this bit here, but like I said, looking at it in person, it doesn't bother me that much, and actually, you can actually move it yourself, and it actually does come a little bit more forward, which I think looks a little bit better. As you can see, you got the classic bat emblem on the yellow background, and this time they haven't made the mistake like they did in the 1989 Batman movie. They've actually gone for the Batman Returns kind of symbol there. And now let's have a look at the face sculpt. Does it look like Michael Keaton? Kind of, it does. It's got a resemblance there. It's not NECA quality resemblance, but there is a little bit of a Michael Keaton look to it. It's got a bit of a Val Kilmer look to it as well. He's not got the Keaton lips, I'd say, but there is definitely a look of Keaton there. You can definitely see where they have made an attempt. Detail on the suit is very nice. I do really like the sculpting. It would have been even nicer if this belt was yellow, like I said before. It would have broke up the suit and it would have just made the figure pop. But Mcfarlane have obviously gone for screen accuracy, and that's what it's like in the film, so that's what we get. Like I said, my friend is actually thinking about painting this yellow. I want it to be as accurate to the movie as possible, so I'm going to leave it be. If, like I said before, if there is a little bit more detail on the belt, then I will add that, but I'm going to keep it black. Overall, I think this is a fantastic figure. I really am pleased with it. I couldn't be more happier, to be honest. I think it is really, really good. I've been looking forward to it for so long, and now it's actually here, and it's so nice to see it in person. If there's one negative I can say about it, and it's not a big negative, it's not something I can't fix, but if there's one negative I can say about it, it's the ears. For some reason, on top of the ears, it's kind of been rounded off at the top. If you can see, they've actually added this little bit of extra plastic at the top, and I don't know whether people were complaining that they were catching themselves on the ears, or like, I don't know, pricking themselves on the ears, but I think it is a strange thing to do, because these are more or less adult collector's figures. I don't think I would have bought these for my son to play with when he was younger. You know, adults are the ones buying these, so I don't know why you have to put these little safety precautions on top. Saying that, maybe children are playing with them, I don't know, but they have done that. It's not a big deal. I can round it off, I can trim it up, and I can have them looking a little bit more pointy. It's not a big deal, but that is, for me, the only negative I can say about it. I absolutely love this figure. So here he is next to the 7-inch Michael Keaton Batman, and I've got to stress that this is a different costume to this one, but obviously the NECA one does look a lot better, because NECA are masters when it comes to detail. That doesn't mean that this is a bad figure. I really do like this figure. I must admit, it looks a little bit cartoony now next to this one, but I do still really like it, and I think it is a fantastic figure. But obviously NECA is gonna win hands down against anything Mcfarlane put out. So before we end today's video, let's get a few action shots with Michael Keaton's Batman. If you enjoyed today's video on this Mcfarlane Batman figure, you might also enjoy one of these videos that I'm going to put right here. And please think about subscribing and liking so you don't miss any of my other videos. I don't really know what else to say. I'm Batman.